What's up, YouTubers? Hardworker12 with you here today. Now, if you're watching this video, you may be in the market for practical, reliable, and inexpensive transportation. You might be looking for a used compact car. And if so, this, a pre-owned Nissan Sentra, may be one of the options that you're considering. So, I'm going to give you some advice as to whether or not this is a good car for you to buy. I'm going to start off by doing some cargo measurements and passenger room analysis with the vehicle, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the pros and cons of buying a Nissan Sentra, a used Nissan Sentra as it were. If you're not interested in the cargo room nonsense, there'll be a timestamp in the description that you can click and skip to my thoughts as to whether or not you should purchase this vehicle. Width of the cargo opening at its widest point, 46 inches. Width of the cargo opening at its narrowest point, 35 inches. Length to the bottom of the back seat with the seats up, 41 inches. Length to the top of the back seat with the back seat folded down, 64 inches. Width of the cargo area at its widest point, 55 inches. Width of the cargo area at its narrowest point, 38 inches. Maximum height of the cargo area, 24 inches, 2 feet. From the ground to the lip of the trunk to load cargo, 27 inches. One other thing I'll point out about the cargo area, you can see we do have a 60-40 split folding rear seat, but there's quite a hump there. It doesn't make a flat load floor. So that may impede your cargo loading abilities in the Nissan Sentra. So the next thing I'm going to check is cargo space. I'm going to sit in the front of the vehicle, adjust the seat to my level of comfort, and see if I can sit behind myself. Now, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'5", and I'm down to about 270 pounds, so that's good. But let's see if I can fit behind myself in a 2019 Nissan Sentra. Not quite. My knees are up against the back seat, and I hit my head on the way in, and I don't have quite enough headroom. But if you have normal-sized people, you could probably fit them front to back in a 2019 Nissan Sentra. Just don't get big oafs like me. Okay, so driving the Nissan Sentra is okay. Now, if you're watching this video, as I said at the beginning, you're probably looking for reliable, inexpensive transportation. And a Japanese compact car certainly fits that bill. The cars I'm going to kind of focus on the most, this is a Nissan Sentra. I think its most natural competitors in the marketplace would be a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla. And in preparation to make this video, browsing online ads for these three models, and I'm filming this in May of 2020, so I was looking at 2017 certified pre-owned models, which, you know, 3-year-old CPO, that's where the lease returns are at, and there's quite a few of all of them, the Corolla, the Civic, and the Sentra, available in the marketplace. And from what I could tell, with comparable miles and comparable equipment, as close as you could get, you're going to save anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 over either a Corolla or a Civic if you buy a Nissan Sentra. And there are some reasons for that. I think that of those three, the Civic probably drives the nicest, and the Corolla has the best tech. In 2017, Toyota made the Safety Sense suite of safety systems standard on the Corolla, so it has things like the, you know, emergency braking, lane departure warning, that kind of stuff. And LED headlights were also standard on the Corolla for that year. The Civic does drive a little nicer than this car. I'd say the Sentra probably, if you're looking for a car that handles and feels kind of sporty, The Sentra probably drives a little bit better than the Corolla. I'm a big guy. I'm about 6'5". I don't find the seat in the Sentra to be particularly comfortable, but it may work for you. I mean, my body type is different, I'm pretty sure, from whoever's watching this. At least, if we play the averages, that's the case. And driving wise, this isn't the most exciting car I've ever driven. But that might not be what you're looking for. It's not a sports car, but it doesn't need to be a sports car. The fuel economy seems to be pretty good. It's getting kind of in the low to mid 30s, depending on if I'm driving in the city or driving on the highway. But there are reasons why it's cheaper than either a Civic or a Corolla. I'm driving this car because I rented it from Enterprise, and you're not going to find very many Civics especially, and also Corollas, at car rental desks. But Nissan Sentras, they've sold millions of them to rental agencies, and this does cut down the resale value, because once these rental cars hit typically 30 to 40,000 miles, they go to auction, and there's just tons of them on the used car market. But if you're looking for a used car, this could be a good thing for you, because it is a little bit cheaper to buy than a Corolla or a Civic. But when you go to resell this used car that you've bought in 4, 6, 10 years, however long it is, it's going to be worth a little bit less than a Corolla or a Civic when you go to resell it. But it was cheaper when you bought it, so that may kind of come out in the wash. Reliability-wise, the Corolla is probably the king of those three cars. The Civic probably ranks number 2. This one probably ranks number 3. The Nissans do have some issues with their CVT transmissions. The CVT actually doesn't feel bad to drive in this car. If nobody told you it was a CVT, or you didn't know what a CVT was, you probably wouldn't realize there was anything different than a traditional automatic transmission, because it mimics the operation of a traditional automatic for the most part, and it feels fine. It's a smooth transmission, but they do have some reliability issues on the long term, so a powertrain warranty that would cover the transmission might be a good investment if you are looking at buying one of these cars. Hondas have some transmission issues too, just to kind of be fair. Like I said, the Toyota, probably of the three, is the king in the reliability aspect. So, should you buy one? Yes, if you can find one that's in really good condition. Used cars are not created equal. So if you find one with clean Carfax report, no accidents, and it's considerably cheaper, $2,000 to $4,000 cheaper than a comparable, Civic, Corolla, whatever, and the car works for you. I mean, it's kind of hard to give people advice on which car to buy. You can to a point, but you have to buy a car that you're going to be happy with. And if the Nissan Sentra works for you, you find the seat comfortable, you like the way the car looks, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, whatever it is, and you can find a clean one at a good price, and do your research, shop around, make sure you know kind of what the market is in your area before you make your purchasing decision, I would tell you, yeah, go ahead and buy it, but do your research, test drive the car, make sure the seat works for you. Maybe you don't need the technology stuff that the Corolla has. Some people don't. Maybe you don't care if it's a sporty driving car. All you're doing is going to work in the grocery store and back, and driving a car is not a big deal to you. Okay, fine. Do what makes you happy. So many car magazines and automotive journalists, which is something that I aspired to be when I was a younger person, they take cars to the racetrack and they drive them at the limit, and they say, oh, buy this one, not that one, because it handles better. Most people never take their cars to the limit, so it's not really the best consumer advice. I would say that the Nissan Sentra is not the best compact car in the world that you could buy, but I would also say that its price reflects that, because it's not the most expensive one either. So if you can find one where the value proposition makes sense, the condition of the car is good, accident history is clean, or at least acceptable. If it's got an accident on the Carfax report, it better be significantly cheaper than your Corolla, your Civic, you know, whatever. There's so many options. I'm just using those two as a comparison because they're the easiest marks to hit. But yeah, if you can find one at a good price and it's clean and you like it and you're happy with it, go ahead and buy it. Like I said, a powertrain warranty that covers the transmission might be a good idea. It's always a good idea to have some kind of warranty coverage if you can on any pre-owned vehicle that you buy. So that certainly applies here as well. But if you like a Nissan Sentra and you can find one for cheaper than its primary competitors, and it's a car and a price point that you're happy with, I say go for it, but just make sure that the value makes sense. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Best of luck with whatever used car you buy, and drive safely. Bye-bye.